You set goals, you get excited, you probably even start strong, but 3 weeks later, you're back to your old habits. You're staring at that list you made on New Year's Day. You're wondering, what the heck is wrong with me? Why can't I achieve the goals that I set out for? Here's what nobody really tells you. You're not failing because you lack willpower. You're not failing often because you're lazy or undisciplined or just broken in some way. You're often failing because you're using a system that was designed to fail from the very beginning. Let me explain. Most people treat goal achievement like it's a motivation problem. They think if they can just get fired up enough, they watch the right YouTube video, if they read the right quote on Instagram, they're gonna get so full of fuel that they're finally gonna stick to it this time. See, I had to learn that motivation is a lot like the weather. It comes and goes whether you want it to or not. Some days it's sunny, you're feeling good. And some days it's pouring rain and you have about as much control over it as you do the forecast, right? I spent years in this cycle. I'd get pumped up about a goal. Maybe it was building Compete Every Day in those early days, right? I'd have this crazy idea and I'd go all in chasing that idea or chasing this side idea, working late nights, making calls, grinding it out, thinking, man, this is it. And then one day I just didn't feel like it anymore. And I would wonder why I couldn't maintain that fuel, that fire. I'd beat myself up that maybe my purpose wasn't strong enough. Maybe I was chasing the wrong target. Maybe I needed to be tougher, more disciplined or something. But what if I told you there's an entirely different approach, one that I didn't realize then, but I'm sure glad I know now. After working with hundreds of high achievers, of athletes, business owners, leaders, the ones getting real results, I've discovered something key. The people who achieve their goals don't rely on motivation really at all. They use something much more powerful. And once you understand that system, you'll never struggle with chasing down your goals ever again. In the next few minutes, I'm gonna show you 3 key things to this system. Number 1, why motivation is actually sabotaging your success and keeping you stuck in this cycle over and over and over again. Number 2, I'm gonna share the competitor mindset that changes everything about how you approach chasing down your goals. And number 3, the system, the exact way that turns any goals from wish to that inevitable outcome you run down. So let's get into it. Here's what most people don't understand about motivation. They think of it like it's fuel. They think if I can just generate enough of this feeling, then you can stay pumped up. You'll be excited, you'll achieve your goals, but it's backwards thinking. Motivation is the spark that gets the fire started. It's not the logs that keep it burning. And when you rely on the feeling of motivation to achieve your goals, you're essentially saying, I'll only work toward what matters when I feel like it, which means more often than not, you won't work at all. Let me tell you how I figured this out. It was 2011. It was the first year of building Compete Every Day. I was still selling shirts out of the trunk of my car. I was still working full-time as a marketing consultant while trying to build this thing, this meaningful thing on the side. And there were some days, man, I would wake up on fire, 5 a.m., get out the door, get my workout, make calls, get everything rolling, pack orders, hit lunch. I'd make content for social media till the night, and I just felt so unstoppable. But other days, man, I'd be exhausted. I'd look at the boxes of shirts in my trunk in my garage and think, man, I'll get to it tomorrow. And see, here's the thing that actually scared me. The days I didn't feel like it outnumbered the days that I did. The days I didn't feel like doing the work outnumbered the days that I did. I remember sitting in my car one evening, I was looking at my phone, I'd see other brands posting content on social and making moves and thinking, man, if I keep waiting to feel a certain way, like this thing is going to die. That's when it hit me, right? I couldn't wait to feel motivated to ask for a sale or go to the event because motivation, the feeling of, is fleeting and feelings are unreliable. Feelings, they're influenced by your sleep, by your stress levels, what happened to you at work that day, whether you got cut off on the Dallas North Tollway or not, and you can't build something meaningful on a foundation that shifts every single day. So I made the decision. I was gonna stop asking myself, do I feel like doing this? What do I feel like inside? And just started saying, what does my system require today? What does winning require me to do today? And here's the shift, and this is the big one, because winners don't rely on how they feel. They acknowledge how they feel, but they rely on what they've committed to, right? Standards over feelings, commitments over what feels convenient. The workout happens whether you feel like it or not. The calls get made whether you're jacked up. The work gets done because that's what the system requires. That's what the commitment requires, not because you woke up inspired that day. This is the first truth you have to accept. If you're waiting to feel motivated, you're already losing. So stop asking yourself, do I feel like this? Do I feel like this? Start asking, what does winning require of me today? What does my system require of me today? Because motivation might get you going. It might be the spark that helps you start, but your systems are going to be what gets you all the way to your goals. Now, the second part of this is the competitor mindset, because you can't build effective systems without first understanding the mindset and foundation that makes them work. And there's one very specific mindset shift that separates people from those who achieve their goals from those who simply talk about them. It's true. It's this. True competitors, they're driven to compete within. Not everyone else, not some external standard someone else set with themselves. The man in the glass, the person in the mirror, their previous best, their past performance, their future potential. That's what they're striving to compete with because it lasts. Let me show you. When I was still building Compete in those early years, I was guilty of comparing myself to other brands. Looking around, right? This person that made it, that group that's crushing it, and think, man, I'm just so far behind. I'm not where they are. What am I doing wrong? And the comparison not only killed me, it ate me alive every day, but it took my eyes off of where I was trying to go and what was in my control. Because every day I measured myself against someone else, I felt inadequate and I didn't take steps to run the race I cared about running. But see, once I stopped asking, am I as far along as them, and started asking, am I better than I was yesterday? Did I learn a little bit more to move our business forward? Did I make one extra sale? See, that changed a lot. Because could I make more calls than last week? Could I improve our design based on feedback? Could I show up today even though that fleeting feeling of motivation we just talked about wasn't there? You betcha. Because when your competition is external, you're constantly measuring yourself against others. You're always going to find someone ahead of you. You may always find someone behind you, right? You coast. But when your competition's internal, when you're focused on just beating yourself from yesterday, see, that's a game you can win. That's a shift that will stick because you are your greatest competition. What's more important is you're also your greatest opportunity. See, every single day you have a choice. Will I compete with myself today, or will I compare myself to others to feel inadequate or inflated? See, one of those paths leads to progress. Every day you get better, whereas the other one often leads to paralysis. So here's what I want you to do today. Identify the one area you've compared yourself to others. Maybe it's your fitness, maybe it's your career, maybe it's where your business is, your podcast is, you name it. Ask yourself, what would it look like if I stopped competing with them and started competing with my previous best instead? Where would I focus if the only scoreboard that mattered was me versus me? Answer those questions, write it down, because that's your new game. And once you understand that game, once you accept that the real competition is the person you were with yesterday, it's not anybody else. Once you embrace it's me versus me, everything changes. Because now you're ready for the system. The system is the thing that takes that competitor mindset. It takes that commitment over motivation feeling. And this is where everything comes together. The most successful people aren't obsessed with the destination as much as they are on the system that's going to get them there. It's not about the end goal. It's about what you're doing every day. And when you have the right system, achieving your goal stops being about willpower and starts being about as predictable as following the recipe. So let me give you a system. We call it the goal getter formula at Compete Every Day. In fact, you may have heard about it in one of my books, but it's built on a simple truth. The small, consistent actions we take every day create the can't miss big results we all want. Step number one, clarify your target. Most people's goals are too vague. I want to grow my business. I want to get in shape. I want to lose weight. I want to be a better leader. Cool. But what does that actually mean? See, if we want to be successful, we have to be specific. Instead of I want to grow my business, it's I want to add $50,000 in revenue this quarter. Instead of I just want to get in shape, it's I want to lose 15 pounds and I want to deadlift 300 by June. You need a target you can measure, a finish line you can see. You write it down, you make it specific, and you give it a deadline. But step two in this process is the key. This is the part that most people skip, and it's the reason most people fail. You can't just have a big goal and hope I get there one day. No, you got to reverse engineer. You got to reverse engineer the daily actions that make that goal inevitable. If your goal is to add 50,000 in revenue this quarter, what are the daily actions that create revenue for you? Maybe it's making 10 prospecting calls a day. Maybe it's sending 5 personalized emails. Maybe it's following up with 3 warm leads. If your goal is to lose 15 pounds and get that deadlift PR, what are your daily actions? Maybe it's training 4 days a week. Maybe it's hitting your protein target for your food intake. Maybe it's getting 7 hours of sleep every night instead of that 4 to 5 you're guilty of. Here's the key. You need 3 to 6 consistent actions that move you towards your goal. Not 47. Not a to-do list out the wazoo that overwhelms you when you look at it. 3 to 6. 3 to 6 things that if you do every single day, make your goal inevitable. Write those steps down. And then finally, step 3, I've even made it easier for you. Use the Compete Everyday Scorecard. This is where the system becomes real. I created something for my first book called The Scorecard. It's simple, just 2 sections. Daily actions, you have 3 to 6 consistent behaviors you just identified. Those are the things that align with your long-term goal and where you're trying to go. Then, your daily targets. These are the 3 most important tasks for the day, the non-negotiables that are gonna move the needle in your favor. Every morning, you write them down. Every evening, you check the box if you did the work. And here's why this works. When you track your actions, you stop relying on feelings and start relying on evidence. Evidence is your best friend because you're not asking, did I work hard today? You're asking, did I complete my actions today? You're not wondering, am I making progress? You look at your scorecard and see proof that you are. Let me give you an example. When I started speaking and building this part of our business, I set a goal. I wanted to book 10 speaking engagements in the first 6 months. See, it wasn't focused on the 10, it was focused on the daily actions that were gonna get me there, right? So my daily actions became reach out to 5 new organizations every day, follow up with 2 to 3 warm leads, create 1 piece of content demonstrating my expertise or marketing my speaking business. These were my daily targets. These were the tasks that if I did every day, it was going to support where I was trying to go. So then I got my to-do list. Maybe it's write an email pitch to this company, record a video on leadership, schedule a call with that prospect. Every day I wrote them down. Every evening, I checked the box. Some days I crushed it. I got all of them. I felt good. Some days I missed the mark. But here's the thing that happened. Over time, I had more checked the box than I had missed the box, and the small actions compounded. The outreach led to conversations. Conversations led to meetings. Meetings led to booking stages. And not only did I hit my goal, I actually exceeded it. And it wasn't because I was motivated every day. I was excited. I love to get on stage, but I'm still not motivated every day. I just have a system that works whether I feel like it or whether I don't. So here's your final piece. You can't just set a system and forget it. This isn't a compete once in a while. It's a compete every single day. So every single week you need to review and ask yourself, what's working? What's not? Am I doing the right daily actions or do I need to adjust it? What targets am I tracking or am I just measuring vanity metrics? Because goals evolve, our circumstances change, and oftentimes our system needs to evolve with us. But when you have this framework, when you're clear on your target, when you identify the actions that are going to support it, and then you track them on your scorecard, visually seeing it, and then take time every week to review, reaching your goals often becomes inevitable. Not easy, but inevitable. So here's what I want you to do right now. Download your very own scorecard for free. I'll drop the link right below. Take 5 to 10 minutes today and fill it out. Clarify your target. Identify those daily actions to support it. Write down your 3 most important tasks for tomorrow. Then here's the key. Use it every day for the next month. All 31 days ahead of you. Track your actions, check your targets, review your progress. Do this every day. You're gonna see growth happen. And this system will also transform how you start achieving your personal and professional goals. And this is my favorite part. This is where it gets powerful. If you're a leader, if you're in a role responsible for others, you have people reporting to you, you're no longer just fighting for your own performance. Your team might be stuck with the same motivation trap I struggled with that perhaps you are. They're inconsistent. They're relying on their feelings. They don't have a system that really works, and your team performance is stuck because of it. So in my next video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to take this system and scale it across your entire team. Help your people better compete every day, because when you have a culture where everyone competes with themselves, performance becomes more predictable and the results you desire become more inevitable. I'll show you the frameworks, the tools, and the process that I have with all of my corporate clients on how we take that individual mindset and put it into a team setting to create a championship culture. Hit subscribe so you make sure you don't miss it. And in the meantime, go build your scorecard, start competing with yourself, and chase down your goals. Because every day you wait is the day you're leaving them on the table. Let's go.